All right. Share my screen. Everybody see that all right? Get some of this garbage out of the way here. Take you down to one person and move you over. Okay, see my cursor okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Wendell, we haven't seen you in a while. Let's start with yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me,
That's one I took not too long ago down to a coppery.
mhm.
I just like the different shapes of the building showing up there. They've got curves and straight lines. All of them. I did add a Photoshop sky in there.
Mm.
But, it was otherwise all Photoshop or Lightroom manipulation,
Mhm.
usual stuff. Anyway, I did like the sky with that little bit of cloud filling up that empty corner.
Yeah, it's nice. Rather than just having dark negative space up there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course, done originally for the black and white scene.
right.
Stick in this.
Sure.
Anything else?
Can you guys hear Wendell okay?
Yeah.
Is there any way of miking him, or
No, but I
I
can,
can't hear him?
I can see if I can maybe turn the mic up max and let's see what happens here. I don't know if I can get to the microphone. Yeah, let's see here.
And Wendell, you speak softly and.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. All right, let's turn this up. Oh, it's not, let me turn it up. Let's see, that's odd. The speakers go up. I'll leave those up so you guys can hear, but I should be able to change my input. All right, let me try one other thing here. Go to sound over here and see if we can put it all the way up. Input all the way. Okay. Yeah, it looks like that controls both. All right, perfect. All right.
Okay, well, that's about all I can say about that one.
Alrighty.
Now, the rest of these are kind of experiments with generative AI. This is one that I selected the car out of an old black and white image that I had. And then I put in city buildings background on the instructions for the AI. And this is what it did, which was pretty good. But it's a little funky over to the right behind the car there. Someone's
Like a boat trailer or something back there.
yeah, I don't know what happened there, but
Mhm.
I was able to separate the background and blur it a little bit too from what
Mhm.
AI produced.
Now they put it on a separate layer, didn't it, when it generated it?
Well, it did, but I don't remember. I may have had to select the car separately.
Because then I think, even if it didn't, you could go in here and circle this area
Yeah,
and say, remove,
Yeah.
you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That might work. I'm curious. No, I don't see, it would be really cool if it would, produce the reflections on the hood too.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if if we
Yeah.
circled it, if it would do that or not. That might be
Yeah,
something we can play with.
on the door, there was a reflection of a white pick, fence, rail fence. Cause I took it out the 2 block golf resort, so I had to fuss with that to make it look more reasonable.
Mhm.
Just kind of messed it up. But the one problem I have with this is, I don't know if there's a way to manipulate the main subject in relation to the background, like make the car smaller after it's done, or move it around against.
I guess that would depend on whether it's on its own layer or not.
Well, what I did, and that's the next three, kind of show what I did.
Yeah, let's go through those and then maybe come back here. I'm curious about this hood. I'm thinking maybe we can see if we can get a reflection on there.
This
Are these in
is
order or?
the subject,
Uh-huh.
butterflies in downtown Riverside, California. And so I selected that main butterfly and then did a generative AI background where I asked for green leaves. And that produced that, which
Wow.
quite well, I thought.
Mhm.
Interesting.
But again, I felt locked in with the relationship between the butterfly and the leaves. Incidentally, that butterfly is made out of tin can lids.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I was gonna ask. I
yeah.
thought it was plates at first. They're tin can lids. That's
Yeah.
neat.
In fact, all of the butterflies on the wall are made out of tin cans. These are mainly the lids.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, yeah.
It was a new species. Tin can butterfly.
Yeah.
Oops. I guess
Uh,
pushing the space bar doesn't let me move it around. I gotta do it on the mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So they're all,
Yeah,
well, this one looks like the side of the can.
rolled out of.
Yeah, very cool. Okay.
Anyway, that's a big little place. It's an alley.
Yeah, so if it doesn't give it to you on a separate layer so you can transform the butterfly, I guess what you need to do is make it the size you want it before you put it in.
Yeah.
But then if you don't know what it's gonna be, then it might be an issue. I'm wondering, and we can play around with this because I haven't tried it. If you made a new layer and then had the generative fill go on the new layer.
That's what the next one is, actually. What I did is of course, had the main subject, but I went into,
Wow.
I made up a canvas as blank, and then I went into AI and asked for green fields, and that gave me the background.
Oh, before you had the butterflies.
Yeah, and then I used the object select to pick out the butterfly, and then I could copy it in any size and any place I wanted.
Mhm.
So to me, that's the way to do it, like the old fashioned way when we made our own background.
Right, right.
This time we can.
Yeah, I haven't played with doing background. I've used it more as a retouching tool, to eliminate things or to
Oh.
extend a background or
Yeah,
that kind of thing, but I haven't really pushed it much further than that. But yeah, we could play around with that if we have some time at the end. We got a lot of pictures today, so we'll see.
anyway, this is for Art photo thing down at Desert Meadows Park. It's pretty much conventional. I've done it before, but I did use the Topaz coming night look, and that I gave a kind of a neat look to it. Now, I think on your screen, it probably shows up darker than
Yeah.
up there.
Quite a bit darker.
Because it's more mysterious looking. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, kind of like the way the Topaz handled that.
Yeah.
The rocks at the bottom.
All right. Cool. Where in Desert Meadows is that?
Somewhere in the middle, fairly close to the street, as I recall,
Okay,
kind of like an entrance coming in.
I'll have to look for that. All right. Let's go right down the line here. Looks like we got two sets here for. That might be an old studio one. Where is that? Yeah, we got 5 here. All right. Move that one. Okay, Alan, here up.
This is from the San Xavier mission. Little doorway out to the parking lot. It was actually quite a bit bigger than this. It took in the whole thing, and kind of cropped it down and did put some of this topaz effect on it just to change it a little bit. But I like the composition of it. I was wondering whether to leave the car in the background there or not, but I like the reflections on it, so. I thought I'd just leave it.
Yeah, I think it adds some interest.
Yeah. I like the shadow.
Interesting.
I like the blue reflections from the sky.
I was also kind of like the little white.
Yeah.
Things going.
And leading in lines, and I like the shadows here too.
They also look like people.
I was gonna say, they look like people, and you realize they're coming from the cactus. Yeah.
Spies hiding in the corner.
Ah, yeah.
That,
I guess people are dropping more goldfish over at Canoa Ranch, huh?
Well, this guy had two of them within a few minutes. I don't think these goldfish stand much of a chance. Come and get me.
Yeah, when we used to commute, we'd leave them over at Canoa Ranch, where by the resort, they have that
Oh, yeah.
that water feature at the last hole there by the pool, and we'd let them go there. Yeah, you come back in the spring, they'd be huge,
Yeah.
just from having all that freedom.
Anyway, it's, yeah, it was an interesting day with the egrets.
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
Nice color combination,
Yeah.
the
I've
blue.
got another one that takes the other side. And you could see the fish's eye and the egret's eye.
Eye to eye, huh? Well, it looks like he's worn down his chops there, having lunch over the years.
This is, I just took this the other day there as well.
Mhm.
I wanted to, there's a Ansel Adams shot of this mission.
Really?
To get to that location, you can't get it, it's locked off.
Oh, yeah, no
This
surprise
is as
there.
close as I could get to it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I boosted this color up quite a bit. Just to,
Looks like they repainted it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been restoring it for.
I know they've been working on it, but yeah, I haven't seen it this bright.
The
Yeah,
exterior got finished last year sometime.
yeah, that looks really nice. I haven't been out there other than flying by on I-19.
yeah.
Head up there one of these days. Nice. Yeah, I like the contrast between the dome and the sky,
Yeah.
and then those markers on top.
And it looks really good in black and white.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Well, Alan, were you referencing the Ansel Adams shot? Is this the same shot?
It's not, you cannot access the spot that he took it from.
Uh-huh. I got you.
It's locked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Oh, that's neat.
This is down at Desert Meadows. I think we maybe have seen this before. Here.
Hmm.
No? But
What painting effect is this? It's really cool, sketchy.
yeah, it's a topaz effect on it, but the colors are, I love the colors on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's neat.
Very nice.
It's a nice piece.
We need to get back to Desert Meadows.
So this one's a little bit off the wall. I was down at Desert Meadows. I set the camera up to take 3 images and blind them in the camera.
Mhm.
And this is the end result of one of them, so.
So-
there's actually
So
3
multiple exposures, not 3
multiple
frames.
exposure.
Yeah, there's
And-
3 exposures on the same frame.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I was considering showing you the progression of it, but. Anyway, that's the end of it.
Then you put it into a painterly effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
That's pretty-
That's 3 exposures laid on top of each other.
Yeah, well, and then manipulated a little bit afterwards.
Oh, that's really cool. It's a painting.
yeah, that's fun.
What was it? Was it the bike again?
No, there was 3 different shots, so one was of a metal flower. Another one was of a kind of hummingbird, and then there was another one of one of these little
Wow.
makes sense.
The totem type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can kind of see the hummingbird here. I guess this was a flower.
And it really distorts it quite significantly.
That's really neat.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, Dave, you're up.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I
Adam.
got some fun pictures to show you this week. This first one, I took a digital photography class, and the classroom was in a biology lab. And there were like medical pre-med students reconstructing the cerebral cortex and the brain and the face. And so I took a few shots and composed it in a composite, and it's pretty interesting. And for sure, I want these surgeons to redo my brain.
As long as it's not silly putty.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a composite image and rendered through, I believe, a watercolor filter.
Okay.
There's another watercolor combination, 3 shots of the same lady. And I composed it and rendered it in watercolor. I call this one Bedazzled because of the jewelry on her face.
Neat. Now, did you have more detail in these?
Oh, yeah, certainly, yes.
Yeah, so
Of
the one,
course, in the original,
okay,
once you render it, it drains out some of the refinement. Those, yeah, yes, Sandy, a little bit. It drains it out a little bit.
yeah, did a nice job on this one on the right, but then it kind of
A
blew.
little flared out on.
Yeah, just curious. I like what's happening where she's coming in front of this.
Yeah, what happened there, Sandy, is the red tonality was the same at the edge of her cheek as the other picture, so it looks like it's poking through and bending through. That I was happy with that effect too. Good
Yeah.
eye, Sandy.
Yeah, almost wonder if you should get rid of this. Well, you've got the line on the other side.
Yeah, they're there.
I was
yeah.
thinking maybe you could get wild and kind of spread this over a little bit on this one.
You know, I had to work on this, of course, several times. At one point, it looked like Siamese twins. They were so close, and
Yeah.
I didn't want that effect. So I cut it off so you could see it was a different image.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think that adds a little dimensionality to it, right?
Mhm.
Into the shot for me.
Yeah, that was kind of a lucky break when I combined those two.
Okay.
So I'm working on some portrait pictures and using watercolor filter.
Mhm.
Here's a guy who's happy with crappy.
I guess.
Double image composite rendered in watercolor.
Mhm.
And it highlights some of it brings out highlights, and it's a neat effect. I'm having a lot of fun using the
Yeah.
digital alterations.
Yeah. Do you have the ability in that program to lighten and darken areas?
I think so, Sandy. Sometimes I dial back some of the color because it drains out the color so much.
Yeah. So
What are you thinking?
I'm wondering if you could lighten his face up a little bit, so he,
You can see his face more.
well, and the TP isn't the main event here. He's
Yeah.
also in there.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm not sure it would lighten everything. I don't have the stuff like you use where you can brush in an area.
Okay.
But no, good point. No, I understand. So you
Down
could
there.
see his face better.
Yeah, down the road.
hmm
Okay.
And this picture was shot in Sandy's studio class. And I took the mannequin down off the cabinet and shot her face several times, going around and around with different lighting. And then looked through and picked one out, added some architectural features, adorning the right and left, and then rendered it in graphic novel. And pretty cool results, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a novel cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, the kiss, everybody. The kiss. This big smooch comes from Marcia's Free Museum Antique Store in Long Beach, Washington. And they have a lot of those antique sort of games. And then across the street, there's a more modern arcade, and I took some close-ups of some of their machines and amusements and combined it here.
Wow, okay.
It's like the spin on the dating game.
Yeah.
Yeah. This almost looks like it could be, you know, a church reference or a skunk.
That's right. Sandy, you don't miss anything.
Or
You
a
see
skunk.
everything. Yeah, it's a cross right there, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
You see it all.
Have it be a cross and crosshairs, which is good. Yeah, this one's fun. I like this.
Yeah. You know, I'm playing around. I'm just having some fun.
You are having a great time.
One of the cool things, Sandy, is you can reach back into your archives and bring back something that you never thought would come to anything and combine it pop art style with other images and render it, and it turns out pretty fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. All right. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. Dave Erickson.
This is an old wagon up at Capitol Reef National Park.
Mhm.
And I did black and white in topaz, or radiant black and white, and it adds a lot of radiance to the grasses and stuff. But I like the way it came out, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna, boy, it's just so washed out for you guys. I'm just wondering if I can get to settings without screwing everything up here. Let's see, I don't know what these are. No, get rid of that. Never mind. Guess I should do it when I first set up. All right, let's keep it going then.
Dave, did you shoot that in black and white or alter it to black and white?
Did it in topaz,
Topaz?
yeah.
Wow, look at that.
It's a little bobcat up at Desert Museum. And,
You actually got him or her out a little bit so you could get a good shot.
yeah.
Yeah. She's just sleeping when I'm there.
Wow.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, you got some nice detail going there. Yeah. She's obviously interested in something there. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Morning sunrise in Grand Teton National Park. There was a lot of forest fires when I was there, so that's why the sun is pretty.
Was that about 3-4 years ago?
Pardon?
Was that about 3-4 years ago when they were
Yeah.
having a? Yeah, I was there then too. We didn't even see the Tetons for about 4 days.
Wow.
I put in topaz and gave it kind of a painting,
Mm-hmm. Kind of pastel-y.
quite a bit of yellow in the grass. I'm not sure I like that.
Are you shooting wide angle?
Well, I don't remember, maybe 24 millimeters.
Yeah, because the format's letterbox, or is that just my screen?
That's their cropping. That's his cropping choice.
Oh, top, bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, okay.
There may be some sides, who knows?
I kind of like that yellow though, Dave. It just gives it a more of a
Yeah.
fall. Team.
Yeah.
I think
better than the
it
original.
yeah, I think it's a nice interplay between these two as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cold and windy day in Grand Teton, and I was heading back to the trailer to warm up. And I saw these horses in the pasture, and the sun was peeking right through them. So I
Perfect.
pulled over and took the photo.
Nice. Oh, it looks like a spotlight. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I did enhance it a little bit with a radial filter on the horses.
So I'm assuming they're wild horses, are they?
Yeah.
Are they wild?
Pardon?
Are they wild? No.
No, I think it's one of those in-holded dude ranches
No.
in the park that
Mhm.
let their horses out. I don't think they have any wild horses in the park. Truly wild.
Yeah.
That's just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
All my tails to the wind.
Mhm.
Don't let me do this. This is a fishing trip to Alaska, and that's our deckhand. She was out putting bait on her rods and got them all ready to go, and then she came into the cabin to kind of warm up, and she dozed off. I was sitting across from her, so I snapped her a picture. I had the camera around my neck. And then I put it in black and white and gave it a sepia tone kind of, and then I softened it up. I don't know exactly how. I think I took some brushes on her face and got rid of some highlights
Mhm.
and reduced the clarity quite a bit.
Yeah, I gave it that kind of glow. Yeah. It's gonna ask if you reduce the clarity, because that'll do that. Very nice. So if you guys don't understand, basically what he did is he took a brush to her face and then ran a local adjustment through it, reducing clarity, which kind of softens things up. Usually you go the other way with clarity, you make it sharper and more contrasty. If you go negative clarity, it kind of gives that kind of ethereal, soft focus look. It's kind of
Did you
nice.
send did you have a way of sending that picture to her?
Yeah, I sent it to her and she sent back and said awesome or something.
Yeah, yeah. Usual.
Either awesome or perfect.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or I guess I'm surprised they still use rad in California and places. Yeah. Oh, rad, yeah. Okay. Jim Bowman.
Okay. Well, I just thought this guy was really in a cool position there, just sunning himself and hanging on to the weeds, and he was just a unique position, so.
I keep saying, oh, that's what.
Yeah, he wave to you.
Yeah, come in, the water's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, but I had such a long lens that obviously the whole, and I think in those days I was using a filter that was just not as sharp as it ought to be for the rest, but I like the way it turned out.
Yeah, it's fun.
And like you've got his eye, I mean, you've got the eyes there with branch going right between, right between them. That's just really, it pops the eyes even more.
Yeah, it's thin enough you can see the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very nice.
So yeah, this was done in what they call cave dweller in Topaz. And I just I like it there. I just worked with kind of a brown color, and then with that red contrast against it.
Well, I can't get this thing to go away.
Pink, I guess. What are you trying to get to?
I'm trying to get this to move up, but it doesn't, there it goes. I guess it's about as far up as I can get it. Yeah, welcome to my world. This is what I usually see when I show you guys on Zoom. You don't see it on the other end. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I usually ends up going over the menus, so I can't find things either. Nice. I really like
Mhm.
the way these bounce around on the page.
Yeah, so, I've got a couple of pictures here from England. This is from, I think this place is called, Wickham. And, just, you know, it's, if you all travel to, UK, it's just beautiful, the countryside and the rolling hills and you're running downhill on this shot and to kind of where all the buildings are located. And, but just like the kind of the view and the shots, simple and straightforward.
Yeah, the chimneys and the peaks and everything, the repetition always has a nice setup for, shooting.
Yeah, the archways and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's what originally started.
yeah. Look at the alternating colors in the slate
Yeah,
on the
that's
roofs.
also what really attracted.
It's
I
kind of
like
different.
the lines and shingles or whatever it is, the gray repetitive kind of echoes the fence in the foreground too.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Just wonder maybe a little more
Yeah, it's
counterclockwise.
just a hair off.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should have checked it more carefully. The foreground was okay, like at the fence,
Mhm,
but it just didn't carry its weight on that.
mhm.
Anyway. So, this is Punting on the Thames. And I just put a filter, a Monet filter, in kind of impressionistic type. And, just, kind of a Sunday afternoon stroll, by the river.
Yeah,
But
Very
this,
nice.
and then you pulled some detail back on the,
yeah, full
on the
detail
people,
back.
yeah.
on- and
Oh.
that's kind of,
Mhm.
the way I do, but
Yeah.
kind of draws attention to the subject.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
I like the way this pole just kind of
Mm-hmm.
works its way down. in
Yeah,
the-
nice picture.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so this one was, a painterly knife, they call it. And, I had to be careful with the exposure to not get it overexposed. But I think it did an okay job.
Mhm. You got some nice reflective light going on here too. Wonder if maybe a little less top.
Yeah, could have been that.
Mhm.
I was wondering that same thing.
Maybe a little less on the side
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe somewhere there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
A little less. That's good.
Mhm.
I agree, Sandy.
I like the streak, the blue streaks that are in there.
Yeah, there were, waves that showed up in there.
Okay.
Okay, Jim Murphy.
Wow.
Yeah, just hummingbird. So I got 5 different categories today: wildlife, portrait, street photography, landscape. I got a little bit of everything for you today.
Awesome.
I think that's 1/4000th of a second, something like that. It's fairly fast shutter.
Now, did you darken the background or was it that dark
Very
naturally?
dark in the background.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it really
Wow.
lifts him
It's
up.
it was just, it didn't add anything to the picture. It was just distracting, so I
Yeah.
Mhm.
got rid of it.
Did you somehow attract the hummingbird? You had it a setup somehow, or is this just out in the wild?
No, there's a feeder on the left.
Oh, okay. And you had your tripod set up.
Yes.
Amazing. The lighting is so amazing on this bird.
Yeah, it's pretty good lighting.
Yeah.
And even at that speed, you get just a
Yeah.
little movement still. They are so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of color is that, Jim? You know?
What kind of what?
Hummingbird.
Oh, good question. Yeah, I think, I'm not sure. Maybe it's bananas. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's got the garguts here. Yeah. Nice.
Incredible.
Good highlight in the eye. Yeah. That's a keeper.
This is, I saw her and asked her if she would pose for me, and she did. I might have softened the face a little bit too much. I'm looking at it now. I'm thinking, yeah, that might be a little too soft on the face.
Maybe a hair.
Yeah.
It's still got details in the eyebrows and the eyes and the lashes. Yeah. I would maybe lighten her face up a hair,
Okay.
because you're kind of pulled into this area. Yeah, and the teeth a little bit. In the eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do a quickie with that. See what we come up with here. All right. So. Yeah, this darn thing is in my way. Let's see if I can. We're gonna go layer. I'm sorry, filter. And go to camera raw. And start working on our local adjustments, which are over here. So you can, well, you can see if it finds a person. Looks like it's doing it. That's one way to do it. And then just pick out the masks that you want, because it will separate the eyes and the teeth and the face and so on. Or you can just paint it in the old fashioned way with a brush. Let's give it a second here. See if it figures it out. There we go. All right, so it'll give you the whole person, and then you got all these different things you can get. So facial skin's one we want. Okay. I don't think we need the eyebrows, the sclera and the pupil.
Wow.
There's the teeth. And then you got clothes and hair. Let's just do those, and we're going to create them separately. If you don't tick this, it'll put it all in one. So if you want them all by themselves, so you can do them individually, you can do it that way. Then you just kind of go on to see which is which. I would probably start with the facial skin first and get a feel for where you're going. And maybe just take the exposure up here. Add some white. I don't want to do too much. So basically, you've got a little eyeball here to turn on and off to see where you're at. May have gone a little too far, so we can back that off a little bit. Now, instead of just tweaking all these, up here, there's an amount slider. Just pull that down a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, somewhere right about there. Okay. Now we can mess with the eyes. That's the whites of the eyes. So.
Are you on staff of Photoshop?
No. I might as well have been. I've been with Photoshop since they had the beta copy before it went to the public, but yeah, I guess I could. I would probably zoom in a little bit just to see the eyes more at this point. Yeah, somewhere like that I think is good. Now we can go for the iris and pupil. Yeah, somewhere there, I think it works.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe add a hair white. There we go. Yeah, and so on, should probably brighten her teeth up a little bit. Yeah, so kind of give you the idea. And then that's everything that we've done.
And then putting this catch lights in her eyes too,
Mhm.
that really improved that a lot.
Yeah. I wish I could get rid of this, but it doesn't seem to want to go anywhere.
Top left corner, there's X.
Yeah, I know. I don't see it on mine because I've got this share your screen and all that
Oh, okay.
icon
Oh,
nonsense in my way. So that's, oh, there we go. Move it down there. There you go. Out of my way. Okay. So that's how I would do that. So. Yeah. Back up.
James, what event was she at? Where were you?
It was pre-Christmas, Parade of Lights.
Oh, she was in the parade.
She was in the parade, as well as this boy was too.
Okay.
Mhm.
His expression.
I can just pull this. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull this down a little bit. Oh, that works. Okay. Go back. There we go. I like the way you've run this across the top.
But I wonder is, unless you're completely familiar with what his hat looks like, could you pull it down just a little bit?
Yeah, to see the rim. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know, was it there in the shot?
It's there in the shot, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
The reason, part of the reason I did that was he had a Santa Claus hat on the top of his hat, and I didn't want to see that.
They'd have a fur band up there. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a good reason.
yeah, never heard
A great expression though.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
I wonder where that is.
No clue.
Jeez.
Shot this one from Mission Road with a 600mm telephoto leaning out my car window.
Wow.
That's a beauty.
That's a good one.
was that the sky or is that a sky replacement?
That is the sky. It was about a couple weeks ago, one of those days when it was kind of stormy, and then the sun peeked out and hit the Mission there, and I took the shot.
Mhm.
The incredible moment you captured.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Did you have any more highlight detail in your raw image?
Yeah, I did. I could bring out more detail there for sure.
Yeah.
It's there. I got the exposure was really good, so I was careful
Kind
not
of a
to.
Balancing act, because
Yeah,
you pull that down, it gets a little dingy. And so what you can do is counteract it with white. So basically you're putting the detail in with pulling down the highlights, you're adding the detail, but see how you're making everything really dark?
Right.
Mhm.
And you counter it by adding some white,
Oh,
you know. So it's just kind of a balancing act. As you pull this down, you can bring this up. Then maybe just a little hint of more shadow detail there. So just kind of go back and forth till you get the way you like it. And if
and will
there's
you bring the overall exposure up, or you just leave it like it is?
you can. Yeah, but if you do, it's gonna start blowing out and then you're gonna have to pull
Okay.
more, which is like here. Now, that's another thing. If this was really overexposed, and you get the highlights down all the way and you're still not getting detail here, you can up the exposure to get a little more. Or you could go in with a local brush, mask and just work that area and you get another highlight slider all over again. So,
Okay.
so for instance,
I just did this one in Lightroom, and there's no filters on it or anything.
yeah. So say if you just wanted to work on this area, you could just take a brush and
Mask it.
just
Yeah.
paint that area. If you have auto mask on, it gets it a little better.
Hmm.
A lot of times I'll just paint with auto mask off. And then if I hit the option key to erase it, I'll turn the auto mask on. And then bring it back and make sure I'm up 100%. My density. There you go. Well, and here it wouldn't matter because if you're just dealing with highlights, it's not gonna matter that the mask spills over into the darks that much. So then you're just locally doing it. Like that. Then you can just go back to your regular. Pull that back up again if you want. There you go. Maybe trim that white back a little bit. And you're still holding your detail here. So there's a number of ways you can do it depending on what you want to achieve. Okay, nice.
This was shot on the same day. It's a Green Valley, shot of Green Valley.
Yeah, I got so much nice subtleties going on in the blue. I'm almost wondering if you just got rid of the foreground.
Yeah, I thought about that too, and I darkened it a lot because it was really popping out, and I wasn't sure what to do with it.
That would have been my next thing, is to really darken this down, so it doesn't compete so much. Let's just see real quick. Yeah, it might be just a little too much. Well, we'll see. Yeah. Guess you could get a few different images out of this one.
Right.
Yeah, nice.
Mm.
Well, good to see some work again.
Yeah, back at it.
Good for you. Good for you. Thanks. Okay, Jane. See what we got here.
It was just an awesome, autumn 2 years ago in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Crested Butte. I was just liking the different layers that you can see coming in with the color, as well as the ski lanes.
Yeah. Starting to get a little snow up there and still got autumn going on down below.
Right, it actually was the first snow.
Uh-huh.
Just one of those days that you happen to catch both.
Yeah, nice.
I like the ski runs. It just gives it some.
Yeah.
And I left the haze in, because again, I thought that was part of the beauty of it.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that adds to it a lot. Now you can selectively pick some of these areas like I just did with the brush. And maybe brighten them up a little bit, just to pull your eye down here a little more, because it's so light up here. That's an option you could play around with.
You might want to go, Sandy, to the bottom picture, which is, yes. So
That's the first one, okay.
That's the fern. And then I have taken it to a black and white in the next couple. And just.
And then the vignette.
And that was with Nick. And, I especially like that version of it.
Yeah, I do too.
And it actually brought them the silhouette around. that was part of that.
You put a white vignette on that one?
That actually was the vignette that was on there,
Mhm.
on that particular neck, black and white.
Oh, you picked a preset. Okay. Yeah, so
Okay.
so this had a preset.
Okay,
Ah, okay.
And that was the.
that's nice.
Mhm.
Very nice.
That's nice.
So basically, I have Nick here somewhere. Oh. Who makes them again? I'm trying to remember.
Silver effects. I think.
Silver Effects, yeah. Oh, it is Nick, but not anymore now. It's D, something. I know where I can find it. I can find it in Photoshop. It was that menu that was in my way. All right, so we go back to Photoshop. Yeah. There it is, Nick Collection. So Silver Effects Pro is a black and white for them.
Silver.
Mhm. It's gonna start up. I haven't used it on this machine yet, so we'll see.
I haven't used it for a long time, I just got playing with it. especially
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, there it goes. Hello.
Well, Aspen lending themselves to that kind of.
Oh, well, that's my. Yeah, I've got all that at home. All right.
They want you to buy it.
Well, I own it, but I just don't have I haven't done it on this machine. I just have to activate it. All right, so basically, there's a number of presets in there that you can pick through. And then once you pick the preset, you can move the sliders around and enhance it some more if you like. Okay,
Then that's the sky, although I've done a little flame with it there. But the sky was just amazing. It's up on one of the mesas outside of Castle Rock.
Hmm.
And owned by one of the big historic ranches down in Texas. And this is where they sometimes bring the cattle up for some summer grazing. And then they're doing a number of conservation programs, just trying to get people to leave that land as actually open space, which we hope to do.
Yeah, Castle Rock has a lot of open space. It's really beautiful there. Is this just west of 25, I-25?
Just, that's just east.
Or on the east side? Yeah, there's a lot of open land on both sides. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looks familiar as I go through there quite a bit when I go to Monument, which is just south of there.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's where my daughter is. Okay, nice.
Archives. This is at Myrtle Beach a few years ago. And I just, even taking the pictures, I saw it more as a painterly look to it. Topaz filter, the chalk pastel.
Hmm.
And I backed it off to, I think about 80. To bring it down a little bit, but I just really wanted just that soft look to it. The sand in the foreground that looks, you know, hard actually was, because there's tire tracks there from the vehicles that bring out the chairs and everything in the morning, so that was all deep down compared to what's right up by the chairs and then in front of the chairs, so there wasn't really anything. I darkened it down a little bit because it was a bit brighter,
Mhm.
so I did, you know, darken that down a little bit to expose that, but I couldn't do, you know, as far as it looking like there's traffic in it, there's nothing I could do about that.
Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, you might be able to darken it up a little bit
Do a little
and
bit
throw
more.
some of this color into it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's getting a little too neutral and light.
Okay,
And that'll pull your eye more into here. Right now it's going down here.
so do like the content aware sort of thing?
No, I just do it with there's a number of ways you can do it. We've been using Camera Raw a lot, but you can pretty much do it with anything. Do you use Camera Raw or?
I do.
All right,
Yeah.
then we'll do it in Camera Raw. The other way would just take an airbrush and take like a color curve in
Oh, I-
Photoshop. And do it that way. Did I hit a tab key or something? I don't see my menus. All right. Must be off the edge here. All right. So basically, you can just get up here to your local adjustments and pick a brush, make one pretty big and with a nice soft edge and just zip across here. Boom. And then once you have that, you can start playing around with exposure and
Oh, I see. what you're
and then if you get your color temperature, you can kind of cool it off a little bit if you want. Or warm it up, depending which way you want to go. Yeah, I think I like it better warm.
saying. I do too.
Yeah, okay. And you can play with saturation,
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah, and go that way. The other thing you can do is if you keep scrolling down, you get the curves here.
Mhm.
And you can grab the middle point here, just click on it and drag it down a little bit. Get it right where you want it. Might be a little too much. Yeah, say about there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the nice thing about curves is you can you can pick the color as well. So if maybe you wanted to add a little red to it, you could just very little. It comes up pretty quick. So
Yeah.
just a teeny little bit of red. And then maybe you might want to go to the blue and pull down and give it just a little more yellow. Somewhere in there. And then if you go to the green, you can kind of pull toward the magenta and that'll make it a little pinker too. That might be a little too much. Somewhere there might work. And then if you go back to this first one, that moves them all. At that point, maybe you might want to just bring it back up a little bit.
Okay.
So it gives you a lot of control. Yeah. All right.
I did not create the footsteps, they were there. That I just been added, that's why I didn't do a whole lot to this. Brought the detail up a little bit and then just added the vignette to it, a white vignette.
Mhm.
Very cool.
They were just, there's just so much detail. Usually footprints don't have that much detail to them, and this just really caught my eye.
Really? Did these pop out?
Yeah.
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 I don't know if the water gets under them and then recedes or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, they're up, that's
They,
what.
they
draws
do like
through me.
they do an inversion that are really cool. Almost look like the other side of a mold. Maybe something high cube could be fun with this.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Try that out.
Cool.
Sunrise. And I just, took it into Topaz, couple different, one of the looks was the hummingbird wings.
Mhm.
And then I took one of the impressionism brush strokes to it. Just to kind of soften things up a little bit, soften the water up.
Mhm.
That's
What beach is this?
Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Myrtle Beach there.
Myrtle. Is that Florida?
North
Beach, so it's-
North Carolina, Myrtle
South
Beach?
Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I was
okay.
mixed
And
north
the
and
three little
south.
birds that came, popped up just a little bit by putting these two filters on it, because they were kind of dark otherwise.
Right.
Mhm.
really want to bring them out much.
Right.
It's a nice detail.
Color from the sun reflecting in the water.
Mhm.
This is real nice.
Yeah. Like that.
Mm.
You got a nice shape going here too, kind of leading in, and then these coming back. Nice. Have you printed that one yet?
Not yet.
And make a nice print.
And as you can see, this is for beach choice.
Mhm.
And converted to black and white, brought up the detail, but I just like all the different lines.
Mhm.
Texture in the wood, the different lines, the light, the sunlight lines coming through,
Mhm.
more set of lines. And that's what caught my eye.
Mhm. Yeah, you got leading lines, you got sun, you got shadow, yeah, it works nice. Wonder if maybe taking this out, just a thought,
Oh, just that little spot.
just this little spot here,
Okay.
yeah. Nice. Cool, thanks. Yeah, I guess we're all done.
Sandy.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, that's right, we got you on the thumb drive, yeah, there we go. Thank you, don't want to leave anybody out here. You just picked two, right?
Tiny, and then there's that.
Yeah, so let's see this one
So
first.
that still needs work. I don't think the, it's kind of flat,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought it was interesting. It's a photographic album that got wet and moldy.
Ah,
And then the color photos actually kind of dissolve. So you can see beneath the Jesus head, there's kind of a ghostly image of the bride. Head and,
yeah,
got some other images where the feet of the groom are just as clear as the Jesus head. And I'm thinking of probably using that one, but there's a lot of interesting stuff.
there's a lot of stuff going on here too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It has kind of a wall sort of effect, but,
Yeah.
just like it could have been a mural that deteriorated over time.
Mhm.
But I know I just started playing with it, and I really haven't done much of anything.
I'm trying to find my menus here.
You gonna do the contrast, Sandy?
I was gonna try,
Yeah.
find the end of my, somehow this thing resized, and I gotta bring it down so I could see my, just bear with me a minute here. I'm gonna make it very small. And then maybe I could find everything. Okay. Where's my menus? Let's just reset and see what, we'll try 3D and then we'll go back to essentials. Maybe that'll do it. I don't know. There we go. Okay. So I would first maybe just try a curve layer on top of it. And generally I'll plant a point in the middle and I'll pull either the highlight or the the 3/4 or the quarter tone down. Let's just bring that down and kind of see which way it goes here. Well, that's doing all right in the blacks, but I think the whites are getting a little too blown, so you can kind of pull those back down. So maybe, and you don't want to get too crazy with these or, you'll start getting that
Mhm.
sensation going. So basically, you just want to keep a nice gentle curve to it, best you can. Or a straight line. Yeah, something like that might help it. Bring a little richness into it.
It needs,
That enriched it.
Yeah, black might. Yeah, somewhere in there, because I was starting
Yeah.
with this corner here, see if you come down too far, that corner goes away. Yeah, you could do it that way. Sometimes if you go left to right rather than on a, 45, you get some other results too. Maybe somewhere there might work,
yeah,
something like that.
thank you.
Sure. Was there,
There was one other image.
there's
that
one
I
other
will
one,
find
yeah.
in,
There we go.
That was taken high noon, winter solstice.
Oh, wow.
Anchorage, Alaska. What I really liked about it was the light coming through the grasses in the foreground.
Very nice.
Well, you got a real nice interplay between the warm and the cool going on here too.
Mhm.
And you can almost feel like that haze coming off everywhere.
It was cold.
I was gonna say,
Mhm.
it looks very
It was
cool.
actually taken with the iPhone. It was just one of those moments.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Take a picture and jump back in.
Yeah, definitely. Nice.
It's funny that you said that's with the iPhone, because last night at the Travelog, Paul put up some pictures and had people raising their hands and whether they thought they were, this was before he started running the programs, whether they were iPhone pictures or camera pictures.
Right.
Almost all of us were wrong every time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I noticed in low light, they really excel.
Yes.
Yeah, I get so much more out of my iPhone than I do out of my Canon. In lower light sometimes, without mucking about. I mean, you can get there, but just to grab it and shoot it, yeah, that's effortless. All right, I still have your thumb drive. Was there anything else you wanted to show on here?
There's one called Warm Tones, which is very bottom.
Okay. Oh, the Photoshop one, yeah.
I'm not sure how I got there. I was taking Linda's class and we were running through some experiments and stuff, and I went home and played with it.
Uh-oh, end of file encounter. Maybe you didn't get it all.
Oh, okay.
That's too bad. All right. Any others or?
Um, You could look at the hands
All right.
or Cirrus, either one.
Yeah, let's do both.
Wow, that's crazy.
House was destroyed by an earthquake
No.
and they had to dig up all around the foundation. And I was on my deck and shooting down, straight down from my deck. The worker had left his rubber gloves there. Just worked.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fun.
What about bringing up the bottom, Sandy?
I was just gonna say that. I think this distracts, maybe if you don't have that, it would make it even more kind of, which way is this? Yeah. Good call.
That's nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And this was also an iPhone and taken in the portrait mode
Mhm.
and then converted down to it's called mono black and white or stage lighting. black
Oh, the
and
stage
white.
light, yeah.
So it essentially put a big vignette all the way around it. And I think I'm gonna go in and clean up some of the stuff in the background and
Yeah. well,
Yes.
but it really had a nice, did a nice job with leaving all the detail in the flower.
Mm-hmm. Got a little hot here, but the rest of it's real nice. Yeah. Okay, let me eject this. Might not want to since I got this window open. Let me close that. Well, while it's thinking, I can show my stuff. Right. Well, we got there, this is Japan again. We got there toward fall and I was just really taken back by the interaction between fallen leaves and their background. So everywhere I went and I saw leaves, I took pictures and this is one of them. Just love the colors and the textures. And then this next one was up in front of a shrine. They had set up some lights and then they covered them up with parasols, so they kind of glowed. So it was kind of fun. And I just like the way they reflected on the polished wood floor. Everybody walks in their, socks or bare feet there, so the floors are immaculate, especially in the shrines. And this was just on the front of another shrine. I just like the way the knot was tied. And this was in a shogun's estate, and they had some artists in the area put some sculptures in. And I really like the organic feeling of this Buddha, aside from the fact that it almost looks alien. But it, the way the branches and the vines and things kind of wrap around it and run their way out the door, that was kind of neat.
Doesn't look like you have to do much manipulation with these.
I had to work a lot to pull that, this window area, and it was pretty blown out.
Oh,
Yeah, so I did kind of a balance between the two on that. Yeah. And this was just a little shrine. I think it was about 3-4 feet tall, but I wanted to make it look gargantuan, so I got in real close to it. I just kind of like the interplay between that and the textures of the rocks behind it. And then on the other side of the rocks was the Pacific Ocean. So this is on the northeast coast. And it's just out in one of the rice fields, starting to turn. They're getting ready to harvest. And another shot of Fuji. I think I showed a few. I can't remember. I'm in a few different groups, so I can't remember who I showed what. But, I just got down really low because I like the rocks and the way things were receding, and also the way that all these were backlit on the side there. But yeah, Fuji was kind of in and out most of the day, so that made it kind of a nice graphic the way that was going that way, and this was coming this way. And then we toured this castle, and on the way out at closing, these clouds came rolling in and the sun was setting off to the side, so it made the White Castle kind of yellowish, and then you got all these clouds behind that. That was pretty cool.
Also makes it look like you could be on a monastery or something up in the mountains.
Right, yeah. Well, they did put them up on the highest spots in whatever area they were at, because they defended their turf that way.
You said
Interesting.
it's actually white?
Yeah,
Wow.
And this was kind of a neat area. There was a road that was about 2 miles long that went out into the ocean, and at low tide, you could walk on it or drive on it. But, the rest of the time it was underwater. So this was low tide at sunset, and then I went the next morning at sunrise and took some pictures as well. Well, the fishermen, they were driving and walking out to get to their boats. And then it was so low when they left the road, they could wade out, they had waders on and, water's maybe about 2-3 feet deep. They could walk out, 100, 200 yards to their boat. I believe this is a blue heron. He was just hanging out. And one of the golden palaces there.
That looks familiar, that one.
Yeah. I just saw a shot of this in the winter. It's just amazing. There's a lot of snow there. And we were just driving up the road and saw this beauty. I just couldn't resist.
If it weren't for the lettering, you'd think it was here in the.
Could be anywhere, yeah, definitely. But I love the rust. And this woman, I guess, had a ceremony for one of her children, and she was walking out with one of the monks. I thought that was a nice shot. Family's just kind of around. This guy was getting dressed up to perform. They were doing instrumental music at one of the shrines, and while they were rehearsing, we heard them and asked if we could come in and shoot, and they allowed us. I did some more photographs and video, but this was one of the shots I particularly liked, of him just getting ready and putting his sash on. And a couple that was at that same castle. This is one of the gatehouses. You can see the size of the door there. Pretty amazing. But a lot of the people, Japanese as well as tourists, would rent costumes of the period, and they'd dress up to go to these shrines or castles. So it was kind of cool.
Hey, Sandy, what is that thing on his stomach there?
I don't know. It's like, like a little, looks like a fur ball, and you'll see it in you'll see it in another shot. I might have here.
Pendant that he's wearing? Something hanging down?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it's hanging there, but yeah, it seems to be part of the outfit.
Huh. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And I was at another Shogun house, and it was kind of U-shaped and navel lint, right? It was kind of U-shaped, so I was on the other side shooting across the little terrace in between, and they were just starting a tea ceremony. So I got a shot of that.
Now, is this all performative, or is this kind of occasionally what people do? Just
No, this is what they do. Yeah.
Huh.
So evidently they, a lot of these places where you can tour, either the locals or people from other parts of Japan would rent them out for events or meetings and that sort of thing. So they were having a tea ceremony there, where it looked like they were gathering with, friends and relatives. Yeah. And hosting it in a nice place.
And piece in the back of the women, is that sort of the cushion that they can then sit on if they're? Or,
The light colored,
right.
Oh, and here?
up above on her.
Oh, this, no, it's like a backpack. Yeah, they carry things around in those. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. See, you can see hers as well. It's kind of odd. And then you've got, if you didn't see the plastic bag, you wouldn't know what period this was taken in. Could have been, 100 years ago, but now that kind of gives it away. Yeah. So that's what I got this week.
Very good.
Thanks. Let me stop sharing and